I said at the top of the show that Paul Keating had taken a swipe at one of the Credlin regulars, and of course that's Greg Sheridan. If you read the piece in the Australian newspaper today, particularly nasty. I mean, I know there's vitriol and invective that comes from Keating on a regular basis, but this was particularly nasty. He accused Greg Sheridan of a display of his spiteful, vacuous journalism. And I don't think anyone listening to Greg Sheridan or reading Greg Sheridan would say he's vacuous. Keating criticised Greg and the Labor government, to be fair, for their support of AUKUS. He was writing about them being little Americans, a little army of little Americans dominate Australia's foreign policy. Now, I think this is, well, I don't want to say what country Keating tends to support more than America, but let's see this for what it is.
Yes, Peter, Paul Keating did seem to be particularly grumpy and, as you've said, nasty as well in his attack on Greg Sheridan. I think Greg might have slightly provoked him, though, with his opinion piece on The Australian on Tuesday. And anyone who hasn't read them both, it's quite an entertaining read. And from Greg's perspective, I hope he's thrilled, because there's no greater compliment that can be paid to a journalist or a columnist than to have the subject of their column pen a scathing response. And Greg comes out of this beautifully and brilliantly because Paul Keating's arguments were actually quite confused. He seemed to be saying, oh, Australia shouldn't really have anything. We don't need the USA. We should stand on our own 2 feet. You know, we should be engaging better with our region. Completely, but then admitting that they are our key ally and that we need them for our national defence were something major to happen in our region as it has in the past. So it was a confused piece by the former Prime Minister, and full congratulations to Greg Sheridan for letting us have some very entertaining reading in The Australian this week.